Well, whilst most of this was fairly predictable and we probably already knew the answers, it is nice to kind of just have it down in writing. I've been asking a lot recently, what is the Valor cap? Is it going to be 1600? Are we still going to get the rolling Valor cap? Are we going to get the rolling conquest cap? And what's that cap going to be? Because to be fair, the conquest, even for a PvE player, is equally as important as Valor, because if it's a 4K cap, which I now have the answer for you, we're actually going to be able to get a couple of items that are 483 eye level before the raids actually open. So let's jump in. Firstly, what's going to happen when the pre-patch arrives? All of your Valor points will be converted into Justice points, and Conquest points will be converted into Honor, which is exactly as we expected it to be. Any Conquest or Valor that's going to exceed that 4K cap for both Justice and Honor is then going to be converted at Gold. So you're going to get 35 silver per point of Honor and 47 silver per Justice point. So from the pre-patch, you're also not going to be able to earn any more Valor or Conquest points, obviously, and any items formerly purchasable for Valor and Conquest will now be available for Justice and Honor. So on your brand new monk in the pre-patch, you're just going to be able to farm loads and loads of Justice points and buy all of the 397 gear from the vendor. They've changed the Commendation of Service, which we kind of expected them to. I did say this was a risky form of preparation, but when the pre-patch goes live, the vendors will no longer sell these commendations, so these are the items that give you 250 Justice points. So the Commendations of Service are no longer be redeemable for Justice points, but you can vendor them, and I think it was like 75 gold. So I suppose it weren't completely wasted, but still quite annoying. Now this is the big one, because this is all around that first week of MoP actually launching. So with the first weekly reset after MoP Classic launch, the week of July the 21st. So to be completely clear here, just looking at the calendar, launch is on Monday the 21st. That's going to be the 22nd for NA and the 23rd for EU when we get our weekly resets. So this means we're going to be able to get 2 full Valor caps before the raid opens on the 31st, which is going to be 3,200. That's quite a significant amount of Valor, obviously. So I've kind of jumped ahead and just told you exactly what your Valor cap's going to be. But yes, you're going to be able to get 1,600 a week, exactly the same as Cataclysm Classic, and they've implemented the rolling Valor cap, so it increases by 1,600 a week. So what this means is if you re-roll 3, 4, 5 weeks into the expansion, it doesn't matter, because you're just going to have a humongous cap on that character to then be able to just spam loads of Celestial dungeons and catch up pretty quick. I do love this rolling Valor cap system. Now they've also said daily quests, random scenarios, random heroic dungeons, and all levels of raiding will reward Valor. Now we know that already, but they have said, similar to Cataclysm Classic, they've increased the amount of Valor rewarded for these activities. Now, we've recently been looking a lot at Celestial Dungeons and the amount of Valor you're getting from Celestial Dungeons, or even just random heroics, not even necessarily Celestials, and it's going to be really quick to be able to cap Valor. You haven't got to worry about it being a slog. And they've done something else which is pretty bloody good. Just jump into the end. Once you've collected 1,000 Valor on a character on your account, all other characters on that account will have a Valor point gain increase by 50% for the remainder of the week. So you don't even need to get the full cap on one character before it just gets sped up really, really fast to the point where capping ults is just going to be so quick. Now, they've gone on to talk about what you're going to spend Valor on, but we already know that. You've got your reputation gear, which is 489 eye level, so you will need to target a couple of specific reputations if there's a certain couple of items that you're going to want to get, because the items still are gated behind the reputations. So the start of the PvP season is going to be the week of July the 28th. So that is the same week as what the raid opens, but the PvP season will start on like Tuesday for NA and Wednesday for EU, and then that's going to give you a day or two, depending on what region you're in, to get as much conquest as possible to be able to buy a couple of pieces for obviously PvE purposes. Or if you're a PvPer, then cool, you're just going to cap anyway, you're in no rush. Now, it is a 4K cap, which is absolutely huge, and it's a progressive 4K cap as well, so this is going to be really good for even in the future when you're playing your ults, to be able to just pick up a load of 483 gear just by getting some conquest points. Now, arenas and battlegrounds reward conquest, and I am going to be doing a PvP video in the next few days where I am actually going to break down all of the stuff around PvP. Even though I'm not a massive PvPer myself, it does play a part, especially at the start of expansions, and actually there is PvP objectives during the legendary cloak quest line as well, so the things that you're just going to want to know about. Now, I know this was a quick and dirty video, but that's purely because I've been recording and editing all day. I've got another video coming out pretty much directly after this about Celestial Dungeons and the loot that comes from them, so make sure you hit subscribe. There is a giveaway in that next video for the Mr. Pandaria Upgrade Edition as well, so you don't want to miss that, so definitely hit subscribe. Like the video while you're down there, and leave me a comment, maybe telling me, oh, I just hit a microphone, what bottle of whiskey I should drink. Alright, see you on the next one.